My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here. Today is June 6, 2023. It is 1:43 a.m. So it was taking a while to add some tweet on my list, because earlier this morning, yesterday, when I finished my last editing, I started making a list, and then I had to give the computer. And throughout the day, when I was on my phone, I came across some stuff. I liked them, so when I'm here, I could hear meaning behind my computer, so I could add them to my list. So that's what I was doing, going through them, and then there were new tweets that popped up on my timeline. So I have about 15 tweets. There's 2 that I took out, actually 3, that has to do with more of politics, so I removed them from the list. I try to focus on the royal family for you guys. I'm gonna try to see if I could do Patreon for, I know some of you gonna get sick and tired of hearing this, but I started thinking about it, and on one of my videos I said there's probably gonna be different pricing. Patreon is not free, okay, but because some of the issues that I've been facing with YouTube, so at least I have another platform for you guys to check some of my videos. There won't be anything special when I do create it. Nothing special. There won't be any behind the scene special views for certain pricing or whatever. I'm gonna create different pricing depending on how you feel you could afford. Okay, that will be the reason for Patreon. And the same thing that I did with when I was on PYTE. PYTE is demonetized, that's why I'm here, for those who are new. This is a backup channel. So the same thing that I did with members on PYTE, there were different pricing. Some of you could pay more, some of you, you pick the price that you feel you could afford, but everybody saw everything. Okay, so there was no special treatment for any pricing. Okay, so that I'm gonna treat Patreon the same way. All right, so let's go on Twitter, and if you are new, you're just passing by, please take a moment and subscribe. So let's go on Twitter. This is the first tweet, and that will be, I believe, the only tweet that I have regarding William and Kate. It was one of those that happened, and I covered it 2 or 3 videos ago when they went to the wedding. What was it? Where was the place? Jordanian wedding. All right, so I cover a little bit about that. So this is a follow-up of it. Wow, Bonds finally grew a pair and told him off for embarrassing her on the global scale. How would you know? It would be hard to know this, but for the sake of this video, I just share it with you. Okay, Prince William and Kate Middleton allegedly clashed on plane following Jordanian wedding. Yeah, he really embarrassed her. Not only avoid talking to her, the way he walked, leaving her behind, and then when she was talking to the bride, it's like chop chop, hurry up with whatever conversation she was having with the bride. So William doesn't have any respect, not only for Kate, but I guess respect for his position, because going to that wedding, you don't have to wanna be there, but for the sake of your people, okay, the Brits, you need to go there to represent whatever friendship you guys have with Jordan, the country. All right, so that should have been at a professional level. That's all. Okay, pretend you're happy. I mean, the monarchy is there to pretend. So this is where he was supposed to show off his acting skills of pretending, because he's pretending to the Brits every day. Pretend he cares. Show smile and pretend he cares.
I'm sorry we can only come and give words and comfort, but we are thinking about you the whole time and we really care about what's going on. So
sometimes it's that's more than financial.
Well, if we can give you the odd smile here and there, that's important. So, you know.
That's all he was supposed to show over there, but he couldn't do that. Okay, come on, kid, dump this loser. Being queen is not worth it. Me? That's that. This is getting good. And that press reported it. No more Harry and Meghan to do their dirty laundry. When your own husband told you in public. I know. There it is. Chop, chop. Like, wrap it up. Let's go. My goodness. So embarrassing. Okay, chop, chop. Why was I in the Botox to the back seat? There's that. She needs to be embarrassed. I don't want to jump on the bandwagon about this. I'm just reading it to share it with you. But whatever. Like I always say. When I have an issue, I say baggage for God. I'm just gonna leave it as that.
I'm just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me.
The evidence was all there in the wedding. They couldn't hide enough this time. Alright, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. And this one sort of the rest sort of focus on Harry with the tabloid, with the lawsuit, the hacking, and all sort of things, but mostly Harry. Okay, just a suggestion to any news organization covering the coming hacking trial involving Prince Harry. If your newspaper is a defendant in any of these actions, please include an editor's note to that effect. It's called a conflict of interest. So this is not a squatty. I saw it. It makes perfect sense, and I added to the list to share with you. And he's right, because Harry had already told not only the papers he's not dealing with them, but it's like fair practice, like this what is called conflict of interest, because you're gonna say things so pretty much align with your own views or something like that, favoritism. Alright, so of course everyone should take moral lectures from the very moral at who's that? Is he who is that? Is he okay, editor, Prospect UK chair? Okay, we'll tag a whole bunch. X EIC Guardian, X whatever, speaking agent, Karen. Okay, I don't know who he is. I thought it was a random person, but it seems like he's a tabloid as guest as well. Okay, are you suggesting there is no conflict of interest? The British media has zero credibility, nor do they have integrity. That's the thing. Alright, that would call for integrity, and we know what happens when the corpse of clowns look honesty and integrity in the face. Okay, I thought lack of integrity was the tabloid business model. Okay, basic journalistic ethic to include a paragraph near the top of the story disclosing the conflict, which they never do. Okay, and maybe note that Prince Harry is not the only plaintiff. That's another good point. Okay, my course tutor's husband was part of an organization being sued for disability discrimination. She conducted a fitness to practice trial, even though this impacted the outcome of the court case. Okay, what is that has to do with? Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. Okay, or just don't carry the judgment if it goes against you, like Guardian and Carol Cadwald. Okay, there's the clap here. Alright, so there's more comment. Let's move on. I was focusing only on this, which make perfect sense to me. Alright, next tweet. I think this is a video. Yes, it's a video. The whole point was I try my best to put the tweets in order of importance. I don't know. I hope the order of this makes sense. Okay, please, you don't have to do that. Princess Diana, go Harry, we support you. Alright, so this is all the harassment Princess Diana was dealing with. Alright, so let's listen. Oh, it's only 16 seconds, okay? I'm sorry, you're gonna see screenshot on this so I don't get any issues with YouTube. Alright, right, so there is a music in the background. I'm gonna have to mute it, but you could see the image. Oh my goodness. Okay, whenever one person stand up and says, wait a minute, this is wrong, it helps other people to do the same. Gloria Steinem. Okay, Prince Harry's cases against the publishers of The Sun, Mirror, and Daily Fail are the biggest public service any royal has ever done. Go Harry. Yeah, a lot of people's eyes are beginning to open. Yeah. Once you stop, it takes only one person to how will I say that? Take one person with courage to carry out a task to help other people to see, because everybody is, majority of people, I will not say everybody, majority of people tend to, they see the wrong that's happening, they want to wait and let someone else do the job. Meanwhile, the unethical behavior is carrying out freely, but everybody's waiting. Again, not everybody, majority of people is waiting for someone else to tell the person who's carrying the unethical behavior to sort of stop. It takes each one of us to have the courage. All right, Prince Harry is doing it for his mother, his wife, his children, and himself. I think he put himself last on this. All of this that he's doing right now, they didn't have to. Really did not have to. Well, I guess the hacking, the lawsuit, he filed it a while back. I don't know. I could look it up. I could look it up when he filed it. But it wasn't something that was going on just now. Okay, he filed it a while back, but for himself, I think he really, I've said it in another video where he was immune to the abuse. It's just the fact that his family and the tabloid continued the same harassment onto his wife. That's when he put a stop to it, and he had said you know, they will not stop until she is gone.
My mother was chased to her death while she was in a relationship with someone that wasn't white, and now look what's happened. You want to talk about history repeating itself? They're not going to stop until she dies. It's incredibly triggering to potentially lose another woman in my life. Like, the list is growing, and it all comes back to the same people, the same business model, the same industry.
And Harry doesn't want that to happen because he doesn't want to be the only parent raising his child. He knows how it feels because he was the victim of that. They took away his mother, and then his father didn't even care for him.
I felt completely helpless. I thought my family would help, but every single ask, request, warning, whatever it is, just got met with total silence or total neglect.
So he wants his kids to have both parents to be there for them. All right, so he's changing the course of things. I mean, Harry's gonna be, as much as the royal family wants to erase his side of history of things, everybody will make sure his story stays, because he's showing the bravery that is. This is, I mean, in every generation, there comes a time where a certain event is happening. I mean, it's hard to explain, because majority of things we read in books, things that already happening. We see major event that happen at a certain period of time, and you wonder how those people who were living around that time were feeling. I don't know if when people read history, it makes you think. It makes your mind goes beyond what you are reading. Now this is our time. We are living in it. Okay, we see certain event happening. How do we behave? It's almost like the 2020 election in the US. What did you do at that time? Okay, it's already history. Okay, 2020 already history. The minute you say something, it's already history. But now I could look back at some of the things that I was doing because I was recording. Okay, and I was living in that moment of the 2020 election, how I felt when we saw how Trump was running the country. Okay, we saw how certain things were happening. What did I do at that time? Okay, at that time, I had a small little platform. It wasn't huge, but I had a platform. I gave my perspective in the best way possible that I felt was right. And then, on top of this, not only spread somewhat of a positive message, in my humble opinion, I thought I was. You guys could tell me something different because you were the listener. Okay, because I was living in that particular environment. And then the next thing that I did to participate in the freedom that I have, part of the election, I went to vote, and I made sure to try to change the course of history for my kids. It was no longer about me anymore. I was thinking of my kids. And then we're gonna face the same thing again in 2024. This is the future I'm already looking at. It's not there yet. The future, 2024. I am in 2023 as I'm saying this now. I'm like right in the middle. Okay, I just spoke about 2020, and now I'm here, 2023. Okay, knowing, putting one and one together, the possibility that could happen in the near future. Okay, we have some people who's gonna run for office again. That will affect the way my children live their lives. So I'll have hopefully I'm alive during 2024. I'll have to make another decision again. Okay, so when we read history, we see things that happen and that had happened. How did those people around those times deal with it? We always have major distraction, people who wants to be dictators, who have the power to do that because not only we fail to practice our exercise to vote, or due to fear we don't do certain things. Now this is our time to change the course of history. Okay, Harry is living in our time. He's doing a great service, not only for the UK but for the world as well, because one of the group of people he's suing, the murder group kind of thing, because they own some newspapers in the UK as well, and Dominion had sued them, which is Fox News, okay, who was spreading the same misinformation in the US, and Harry's doing that over there. I mean, the UK is pretty much is running by, I don't want to say it, but unethical behavior type of people. Okay, they all are looking out for each other, but majority of people in the UK, they're waiting for someone else to do the right thing, and there's Harry who's like, he's gonna be the one to do it. Not only did he risk his life at a war zone, okay, and then the people in the UK, some, not all, discredit the bravery that he did here, risking his life to go to war. And you may depend on how you see the war, but still this is what was happening at his time. Whatever the people you entrust to run the government did, the decision for the country, okay, the country was at war, so he participated to defend the country, but some people discredit that, right? So it's up to you, to UK, to open your eyes. Why did I bring all of this? Okay, Prince Harry cases against the publisher of The Sun, Mirror, and Daily Fair are the biggest public service any royal has ever done. Okay, so that's why. Alright, go Harry. Prince Harry is doing it for his mother. Okay, I read that as well. Then paparazzi. Harry so much like his mom, not a bad thing. Yeah, they wanted her to play nice with the same people that helped make her life harder than it had to be. And what world is that? Okay, and not only that, knowing what we know now, because there's a clip that I have where Charles is saying he has friends, many friends in a lot of places who do things for him to make his life, okay, Charles' life easier.
I mean, all I could say is that I mean, there is no truth in so much of this speculation. And Mrs. Parker Bowles is a great friend of mine. I have a large number of friends. I'm terribly lucky to have so many friends who I think are wonderful and make the whole difference to my life, which would become intolerable otherwise. And she has been a friend for a very long time, and along with a lot of other friends, and will continue to be a friend for a very long time.
Okay, knowing that he did not like or did not love Princess Diana, all he had to tell his friends to make Diana's life a living hell. Okay, your mother was haunted. Yeah, she was. Okay, yeah, the lion is coming, and true gentlemen will always fight for the human right. He went through and survived and become a hero for his own country. That's some of the things that I was saying. I didn't even read that. Now it's back for the truth and his voice to be heard by the world. We pray for you, King. Okay, King Harry, that is. All right. Okay, this is the people that William sold his brother to, and this is the thing too. You have the royal family. Charles, William, they want applaud. Okay, they want people to admire them. This kind of thing, okay, this kind of thing that Harry's doing, this is what takes for people to admire you. You take certain stance that's very uncomfortable. I'm pretty sure it's difficult for him, but he felt that this was the right thing to do. This is the right thing to do because they make his life a living hell. And William and Charles cannot have everything both ways, because you make friendship with the people that's causing pain to other people, but yet you want the people that they're causing pain to, because it's the vast majority, the little people, okay, they're causing pain to, hacking into their phone, intruding their privacy without, any, restriction and stuff like that. There's Harry who said, no, that's not right. Okay, so Charles and William make friends with the people who's causing, okay, the group of people, which is the tabloid, who's causing pain to the vast majority, to the population. But yet, William and Charles want the vast population to applaud them all the time. You can't have that. You can't have that, because you align yourself with the people, the group of people, again the tabloid, that causing the vast majority, which is the people you want to applaud you, okay, so much pain. Okay, it's one of those, you can't have both ways. It's a two-faced kind of thing. Okay, I could understand why Charles did it. The man has no heart or soul. He didn't care for Diana, and he clearly didn't care for his kids, especially Harry. Okay, I'm not the only one who said that. Charles didn't care for the kids. Anything that Princess Diana produced, he didn't care, because there was no love between him and Princess Diana.
And I suppose in love.
Of course.
Whatever in love means.
Yes.
To start philosophizing about love when he's just got engaged to one of the most beautiful women in the world.
Are you in love? Of course we are. Whatever in love means. I.e., let's look at that again. Are you in love? Yes, I think we are. I'm not. I'm going out with someone else already. It's harsh.
Watch the princess's face. I think she was embarrassed by that response. The writing was on the wall, even in those days.
I think Charles must be embarrassed by what he said, because he now knows that that was the giveaway, that all that time he was actually still in love with another woman entirely and not in love with his bride-to-be. And that's pretty embarrassing.
Okay, but William, my goodness, talking about twisting the knife in an old wound. This is the thing here. All right, this person see exactly what I see. They kill her and looted her body and her memory, even at times publishing lies as to what happened on that night to try to deflect the blame from themselves. Okay, his mother was harassed. They promulgated the Pap's law after she died. Harry, not so much. Okay, the thing is that after Princess Diana died, the royal family and the press as well, the people who caused Diana so much pain, they went to work. What was the work? To erase her history. Okay, to erase everything that she did.
That BBC employees lied and used fake documents to obtain the interview with my mother, made lurid and false claims about the royal family, which played on her fears and fueled paranoia, displayed woeful incompetence when investigating complaints and concerns about the programme, and were evasive in their reporting to the media and covered up what they knew from their internal investigation. It is my view that the deceitful way the interview was obtained substantially influenced what my mother said. The interview was a major contribution to making my parents' relationship worse and has since hurt countless others.
But there were the people, the little people, okay, who appreciate what Princess Diana did, okay, who appreciate her goodwill, her humanitarian work, her good heart, and all of that, okay, are the ones that keeping her history alive. Because if it's up to William, if it's up to the royal family, nope, you have a different story completely. All right, and thank God Harry is there to defend her. My goodness, so I'm thinking about the other brother who stood there to add. Oh my God, that was so unbelievable. I remember when I was listening to him saying about his mother paranoid. Okay, that video, when I did it, it was the first time I was listening to it. You get my true reaction from that. Okay, the only thing for evil to triumph in the world is for good men to do nothing. That's the thing that I was saying. Okay, you have, this is our time. We see the things that's happening that's not good. Okay, who's gonna have the courage to stand up and say, no, this is wrong? Okay, so there's Harry here. Okay, the British media made Princess Diana's life hell, then had a hand in her death. Okay, British media literally chased this woman to her death. You would think stricter laws would be on the books after her death, show all the tears were meaningless. The minute, there's a video that I have, okay, when it was at the beginning of this, well, this channel didn't even exist. It was on my other channel, which is demonetized, my main channel, PYTE. I have William and Harry during the funeral of Princess Diana when they were boys, and then at the corner, either behind or between both of them, you have those people crying. Okay, I put in front of it fakers. All right, for them to see Harry going through the exact same thing that his mother went through, and then to bash on him for standing up to protect his wife. So your cry were meaningless. I mean, you people, I mean, the UK, I mean, I think now many of them are talking, okay, or standing up, but before they kept their mouth shut. You just go back to some of my old videos. If you, at that time, you were crying, you were part of this, okay, whatever rent that I had on those videos. But now this is a different perspective because many of you are speaking up, okay. This is why sometimes now I hold when I say you people, or I tend to categorize the majority as a group, you know, all together in the same basket. Sometimes I hold, when I catch myself saying that, I stop to say some, because majority of you now, a good portion of you are speaking up because the world is watching, because the people who have the mic, the people who were supposed to representing you, are making you look bad as a country as a whole. This is why I said William, when he went to the wedding, okay, his behavior really was disgusting. As much as whatever feeling you have for Kate, this is completely different branch of things. He was there to represent his country, okay. You know who was supposed to be there? Charles. Because Charles, with his baggage, with his negativity, he decided, I'm assuming, okay, he didn't go to that wedding to not bring negativity into that wedding. Instead, he sent his son, which is the heir to the throne, okay, representing the UK as a whole. But his behavior over there make the UK look bad. Alright, so that's that. I read all of the comments. Let's go to the next one. I think that's a video as well. Okay, so let's pause. You're gonna be seeing a screenshot. So there's the vein. I don't know who's that. Okay, he looks like one of those. Okay, I don't know who he is. If his name popped up, I'll read it. All right. So because of YouTube, I have to put screenshot, but listen to the audio, okay? I don't know who needs to hear this, but Angela Levine has no access, relationship, or connection to Harry or Meghan. She spent 15 minutes around him when he was around not 15 months. Okay, Levine is UK Queen Camilla's mouthpiece. She lies and fabricates lies, okay, voraciously. All right, so let's listen. There's more, but let's listen to this. 1 minute and 38 seconds. I might stop in between.
Completely unwise. I think when he says that this is going to be his life's work, it's even worse, because I think it's tragic. I think it's also arrogant, so it's a terrible mixture together. He won't be able to answer all the questions and the attacks he's going to get from these top lawyers. He's had nice, soft interviews with people who don't want to upset him in case he walks out or tells them to go. So he hasn't got the experience. It's also extremely negative. His whole life now seems to be negative, going right back into the past. His mother's death is going to blame them for that.
Okay, for one thing, like this person, the caption said, she doesn't know anything about Harry. There's Harry, who was a young boy, observing. I mean, I think the palace is shocked to see that kind of bravery in Harry, because he always stay quiet. But now that he has a family to defend, he's gonna defend it.
I will always protect my family, and now I have a family to protect. So everything that she went through and what happened to her is incredibly raw every single day, and that's not me being paranoid. That's just me not wanting a repeat of the past.
Okay, in a way, to undermine Harry's kind of bravery, what's gonna take place in court, I think, I don't know, in a way, let them undermine him. Fine. But they're gonna be surprised to see how Harry responds to them, because he's been holding all of this all his life. And then the training that Harry has, talking to when being interviewed, to be on top of your game, to respond, to do all of things. Because many times when you look back at interviews when he was a young man, he knows how to refrain himself and allowed his brother, because at that time he knows his brother needs to be heard. Okay, he's the heir to the throne. He knows his position. He allowed his brother to say his nonsense. All right, many times you see his face expression is like this kind of thing. So Harry have been in training in terms of what to say and how to say things. So we're gonna see what happened here when he goes to court. All right, so let's continue. And to undermine his bravery and all of that, I guess that's the tactic that the UK tabloid is gonna have. Let them hold that, fine, but they're gonna be surprised.
Taking into account that she didn't have a safety belt on, or that the driver was drunk, you know, it's just one way of thinking. Also about
okay, the driver with the seat belt, the drunk and all of that, I've come to in my own conclusion, this is the BS they put out there. Okay, for a driver who knows who he was gonna drive that night to be drunk, all right, please, just please. And we know how the UK they love to erase history, okay, create their own thing. They all a baggage for God.
Chelsea Davy, his girlfriend before her, he said they ruined that relationship. I mean, that's 13 years ago.
But if they broke the law and hacked his phone, he's not wrong to be angry or upset about that. The question is, should he be public about it?
No, that he shouldn't be public about it. He can get as angry as he likes, but it's not going to help him, particularly if...
Yeah, it will help him. People will know the truth, okay? If you're keeping things in secret, look at what happened to the bullying. You guys, with your mouthpiece, you went to the world, okay? Saying how Meghan was a bully, this and that. But now, we still don't know how the outcome came. Okay, with the investigation, decided to keep it quiet. When things isn't benefit to you and to the royal family, you stand on the rooftop to let the world know. But Harry needs to tell his story, because if he leave it up to you guys to write his story, his story, which will be his history, okay, we will not hear the truth. Let people know the truth, because the thing that they're doing to him, they're doing it to so many other people. So people need to hear all of that. I mean, this lady is a freaking baggage for God, for sure.
He has mental health issues. He needs to be kind to himself. He needs to be positive.
Well, he is treating his mental health by doing this. If he doesn't do that, what do you think? It's gonna haunt him for the rest of his life. Why didn't he act and do what was right for the people who's causing him pain? So he is solving his mental well-being, because there's so much punches. Can you imagine you standing there, people hold your hand, and then they just keep on punching you? How will you feel about that? This is exactly what the royal family was doing to Harry. They held him back and they allowed the papers to punch him. Okay, punch him in the sense of writing all sort of things, the same way they did to Meghan. They tried to hold Meghan back from not suing them for writing nonsense. Okay, where it started to affect Meghan mentally. What did Meghan do to release her mental anguish? She had to sue them by getting out of remove herself from the palace nonsense, hire her own lawyer to sue the paper. That releases that mental anguish that she was going through, and Harry's doing the same thing. So you need to take a cue, lady. Oh my God, how would you feel if that was happening to you? Huh? People talking negative, untruthful things about you non-stop, and you expect them to shut their mouth and don't do anything about it. And when everything that they were doing to him were being published worldwide, and then you expect him to stay quiet? My goodness, these people are freaking evil. When I say evil originated in the UK, it is showing me every day that I was right. This is pure freaking mental diablo, like the Spanish people usually say. Devils. My goodness, let's continue. Let me rewind it back a little bit so you guys, I stop.
You're public about it.
No, that he shouldn't be public about it. He can get as angry as he likes, but it's not going to help him, particularly if he has mental health issues. He needs to be kind to himself. He needs to be positive. He needs to look to the future. He's got a wife he still absolutely adores. He's got 2 children, a beautiful home with 16 bathrooms and a swimming pool and a tennis court and all that. It won't ever wipe it out.
Okay, he's doing that for his children, so this nonsense don't pass on. Okay, once he sue their butt, okay, they will leave him alone, because he's been saying it for years. Before Meghan came into the picture, before he had kids, okay, he's been saying it. The privacy, leave him alone. But you guys went way beyond into his private life. I was just thinking about that 15-minute interview they forced him to have with this woman who's talking all this nonsense. Okay, he thought it was a small little interview, but you went on and write a freaking book about him, like you know him personally, his life stories and stuff like that. So he needs to do what's right.
But it'll enable him to feel positive and have confidence in himself, instead of which he's just a moaning, groaning individual.
Tom, I'm not sure that having...
Alright, so he's doing the right thing for himself. I'm doing a thread about Angela Levine, who is currently deployed to spread misinformation, conspiracy theories, and lies about Harry and Meghan. The UK and other international news outlet is giving her a platform to spread her lies. She also communicates with the hate groups. Alright, so there's a squad who's doing this. That was back in 2021, but let's not focus on that. Okay, that's gonna take me another video. Let me bookmark it just in case lately I always have something to do, but if I don't have anything to do and I remember this, I could always come back to it. Okay, Lucifer, 16 bathroom. Levine is obsessed with Harry. I can't stand that woman. Okay, no need to put Queen in front of Camilla's name. Okay, she also wrote his there's the thing here. She also wrote his biography and accompanied him over the course of a year as part of that exercise. Okay, she did one interview which they allow her access and shadow his event. She never got consent to do the biography. She deceived him. That's the thing that I was saying. She deceived him and his staff as she turned an article into a book for her financial gain. That's the thing that I was saying here. Okay, it's crazy to see how the negative changes with the wind with these people. I thought Harry was manipulated by Meghan. Now they wanted him to focus on the wife he adores. There's the laugh. And his 16th bathroom. There's that. The fact that people believe anything from this hater. Okay, Angela Levin is a liar. I'm sorry, but I can't stop laughing about the obsession with bathrooms over there. Is it not common to have multiple bathrooms in UK homes? Most homes in the US have at least 2 bathrooms at minimum. What was it? I was living in a very nice high-end complex building before I had kids. Yeah, I had 2 bathrooms. And then later on, I was like, it's not worth it. All I need is a roof over my head and a place to sleep. I don't need to spend that much money on that place. Now I only have 1 bathroom and I'm still comfortable. Okay, and 3 bedroom now. Okay, they are so bitter, and one of the bedroom I'm using for this to do my recording as my office. They are so bitter that he doesn't need them and is rich. Note the motion of his 16 bathroom home with tennis court and swimming pool. There's a lot. They are so bitter that he doesn't need them on his rich. Alright, so let's go to the next one. There's Angela video. Oops. Is that the same thing? Or someone retweeted it? Let's see here. Okay, so someone is making, I'm glad I put it right after this. Good. Someone is making reference to that video that I just read. Okay. That I just watched. GMB gives platform to Hell Monkey, Angela Levin, and the liar with a pothole in his mouth. 2 mourning and groaning individual to target Harry. What kind of a people listen to this type? Okay, I think I put this on my community board, and someone responded and said they had just finished watch that, and I forgot what else she said about that, but it wasn't, she wasn't too pleased about it. Okay, if they broke the law and hack his phone, he's not wrong to be angry or upset about that. Should he be public about it? He's just a mourning, groaning individual. Prince Harry will give evidence as his phone hacking trial against the publisher of the Daily Mirror begins. Okay, Yvette Cooper, current Shadow Government Ministry Home Secretary, I hope will feel embarrassed with her husband on the GMB, Ed Balls, Executive Government Minister many years ago, for criticism, a victim of crime for complaining. What in the world are we becoming? For shame. Dear Angela Levin, I'd be willing to bet she didn't hold a candle to your cruelty, okay, uncouth, coarse, and disgusting behavior. My mother was a cruel and horrid woman. It's taking her years to confront it, but Angela Levin makes a taboo-breaking admission and reveal why she believes countless others suffer just like her. Like I said, they all are baggage for God. This is the thing. They went through some hardship, but there she is here, an old woman, doing the same thing, creating all this negativity. I don't know when the UK is gonna wake up from these people. I guess a little bit at the time they will. They're starting to. GMB should be sued for the mental anguish they have caused Harry and Meghan and viewers for their continued attack on Harry and Meghan on a daily basis. Okay, if someone hacked my phone, I'd be suing too. And I'm a big nobody. All right, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. So Harry's doing the right thing, but now because Harry's turning the table on them, they're like, no, he shouldn't do that. He should be private and all of that. Okay, so there's another tweet regarding that again. Many in the UK still love good King Harry. Why do they keep inviting mentally sick, pathological liars and conspiracies spreaders, Angela Levin and Tom Bauer? Yeah, I can't remember his name. That's it, Tom Bauer. That's him here. Okay, I agree 1000% with the viewers that complained about those two. Alright, GMB viewers, slam bias, guess due to Prince Harry's phone hacking comment. So that was a Yahoo thing here. Okay, really, why do they keep inviting these two? Nothing to do with fairness, with the truth. It's all about trashing Prince Harry and Meghan Markle and the UK medias. The invisible contract kill fair journalism. That's why GMB is trash. There's that. A lot of hashtag. They think they are succeeding and gaslighting the British people, but the truth is the majority can see through what they are doing. We hear from a noisy and toxic minority, and they cherry pick who they interview to, and They interview to only choose people who will support their narrative. Okay, about the toxic minority, they really believe they speak for everybody in the UK. Well, when there is a platform like this and people outside of the country is watching, I don't know, is that mentality of things, you tend to think it's the truth. And this was what news was supposed to do, where people give them confidence, rely on them to tell them what is happening. But they have manipulated, they intercept this thing, the rich and powerful who wants to be in power intercept this type of communication to benefit them, where they hijack it and tell you whatever they want to tell you, because this is, will benefit them. So yeah, journalism is gone over there. And this is why the US, Dominion, I would say, Dominion had to sue Fox because of the nonsense. And Fox should have been sued a long time ago because they were spreading so much negativity. But in order to sue, you have to be able to prove your case. But it's hard when they're spreading this nonsense. Okay, the British, and now we're seeing more Brits, the little people, are speaking out. There's many platforms. They're all over. Okay, when they're saying their nonsense to make it seem like it's the entire UK, and you are in the UK, you were born or lived there, let people, the rest of the world know, hey, I'm Brit. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay, I'm Brit. I don't think that way. Okay, differentiate yourself from this toxicity. So to let other people know, like myself, when I read those things and say, oh, some people don't believe this nonsense, all right, because the way they make it seems like it's all of you. Okay, the British media, etc., brainwash them well. I must admit, I'm telling you, yes, they do. This is one thing I keep on saying. The power that they have to manipulate the mind, they are master of psychologists. Okay, glad to see people expressing their distaste for the constant barrage of hate spewed on this show every day. People need to start speaking up. Yes. Okay, yes, they are a real big problem in the UK. It's time for them to spend their time on those problems and leave Prince Harry and Meghan Markle alone. Let them live their lives. Okay, both Levine and Bauer are bona fide haters. How is that even fair to ask for their opinion? Exactly. The viewers are 1000% right. Okay, the British royal family has destroyed. There's the thing here. The British royal family has destroyed journalism in the country. Now it's a laughingstock. That's exactly that. The thing is that this is something, and I'm glad that I did that video or put that clip within the video that I was doing, because this started way back. Okay, it's the same group that is playing it out now as it was back then. The same group, business people, the elite, because the business people were benefiting from slavery that was going on, in the Caribbean, that the nonsense that they were spreading outside of their homeland. So the business people were benefiting from it. So when they realized, slavery was being abolished and all of that, so they tried, and black people starting to get into the sphere and all of that. So they tried to change the Brit mind. They went to work right away, all right, to keep their narrative going. All right, I'll put the clip. Go watch that video on PYTE. All right, so they're carrying the same thing, and then when the royal family realized they could benefit from it, they team up. Okay, the business people along with the royal family team up, okay, to hijack the newspaper. Because these were the form of information to let people know what's happening, and the people have trusted and trust themselves of getting the news through them. They trusted them, but what they did, they manipulate them. They use them to benefit them. How did some of those business people not too long ago get incentive for losing money for slavery, where they pay themselves? They had, is it Cameron or something like that? How did he get that? Okay, so they hijacked the thing and to remain in power so they could benefit from it. So I hope people open their eyes. And little at a time, when I pray, let the blind see. These are the things we're starting seeing, because the UK need to open their eyes, because they're using the little people, not only using them for all sort of things. You're working hard, your butt off every day to make ends meet, and then you're paying your taxes for them to live comfortable. And then they're manipulating you on top of it for their own benefit, so they could stay in power. So I don't know. Let the blind see. That's all I could say to God. Let the blind see, because the trust that was there for journalism, the high society, the high class, hijack it to benefit them, and then to put misinformation out there, fool you, okay, make you vote against your own best interests, all of that. So, like Brexit, everything. Phew. All right, next tweet. Oh, okay, there it is here. Right, 2 minutes and 18 seconds. The UK justice system is designed for the richer and powerful. It glorifies and rewards injustice. It's not justice. Go Harry. Wow, this is powerful. I didn't listen to it yet, but the minute I saw it, it came on my timeline. I had to bookmark it, because he's one of the people who speak sense. Okay, it makes sense to some of the. I may not agree with everything that he said, but he put reality into the nonsense that's going on over there. Okay, great explanation of the legal term Part 36, which is used to deter civil claims against the trial rather than settling. Is the reason many people like Sienna Miller, who had undeniable evidence against the son, settle. The financial risk is too great. All right, so let's listen. 2 minutes and 18 seconds. You will be seeing screenshot, but the main thing is listen. All right, I have to do that because of YouTube. Okay.
Legal action is because of something called Part 36. Now that means if I were suing you and you made me an offer without any admission of wrongdoing, and I didn't accept that offer because I wanted my day in court and I wanted the admission of wrongdoing, possibly even more than I wanted the money. If we then went to court, and I'm taking the risk, of course, of losing, but if I then won and the court decided to award less money in damages than you had offered me a year or 2 years ago, then I could be liable for your costs, which would run well into the millions of pounds. So I would end up winning a case against you, but having to sell my house and probably go bankrupt in order to hand over all of my money to the newspaper company that had, brackets, allegedly closed brackets, stolen my information in the first place.
That's one of the best explanations I've heard. It can happen with or without admissions. So the Mirror Group does tend to make admissions, because there was a trial where it was found that it was widespread at all three titles during the period 1999 to 2006. So they generally make some admissions. If they make an offer more than you're advised and your insurers are advised that you can beat, then not only do you have to pay the other side's costs, but the insurers pull out, and you're faced with the problem of paying your own side's costs. And because those costs, as you said, are much more than the damages the court awards, or even that you've been offered, you'll be out of pocket, and you have to be fabulously rich in order to have your day in court. It's one of the quirks. There's a reason for it, obviously. You can't have people who want their day in court and refuse to settle even when they're getting everything they want. But it does mean that it's taken people who are prepared, as Prince Harry has said he is, to even take a financial loss. I don't think that necessarily applies in this case, because he may not have had an offer, because Mirror Group were happy to go to trial.
Right.
But where they're not happy to go to trial, it's really hard without taking a big financial risk. And that's why people who settle have a statement in open court, and you hear them speak on the steps of court, like Sienna Miller did, and I did when I brought my hacking claim, and try and explain that's why they've settled. They've not taken the money and run. They've taken the money despite a keen interest in getting the court to decide what happened.
Wow. Yeah, it's a very huge risk, a very, very huge risk Harry's taking here. And I think his wife is standing by him. And can you imagine? Let me not. There's no way anybody else would be able to marry Harry, to be able to support him in that way. There's no way the others will be able to stand up like that to back him up. This is the confidence that the support, the foundation that he has, where Meghan said, go ahead, I support you. Well, Let me take it back. I'm sounding like the tabloid. I don't know what Megan said, but it seems like that support, the foundation, the anchor that Harry needed, he got it, because this is a huge risk, a huge risk. All right, and I think if it goes the other way, the UK will protest on that. So the court better be do the right thing. All right, let's see here. Oh, that was it. It glorifies. Let's go into that. Warrior Suitor. Okay, I listened to that already. All right, so let's see some of the comments here. The punitive outcome of Part 36 is a gift to defendants with deep pockets. I can understand wanting to free up the court calendar, but it's basically turning into extortion. Okay, the courts, and then the paper knows that because they have a load of money, and this is why they feel like, okay, let me do this, hack onto this person. Okay, if we settle, guess what? We still have more money. They never went to court or anything like that. I mean, the thing that Harry's doing, it's a huge civil servant here that he's doing. The court system there is whack. If this is how they treat litigants who may win on the merit, this is corrupt as hell. Okay, I don't understand why will the victim be liable for the cost even if they win the case. Let's see here. Part 36 offer is an offer to settle proceedings. Broadly speaking, if you sue me and I offer £10,000 to settle and you say no because you want your case to heard, if it's proceed and you awarded £5,000 and damage, you're liable for costs because you were offered more to settle. Thanks for explaining. Okay, look at it. What category of defendants are likely to benefit mostly from this type of law? Okay, the fact that there are no exceptions to the rules make it clear that this was not a law simply to avoid expensive litigation, but it's one that is meant to protect corporate and other interests, not the individual who is actually seeking justice. Where's the equity in that? Again, all of this has to rely on the people, because when it's time for election, okay, the UK have many opportunities. There are some good people who run for office who wants to make the right thing. But so many of you just sit back when it comes to racism. You rather vote for racism instead of what will benefit you as a whole. So the UK is in that mess because of the people. You're not going to see the royal family give up their position like that. They let you know they're not going to give up that position.
Are there conversations about relevance?
There will be everywhere. It's not a conversation that I would necessarily have. I think it's perfectly true that it is a moment where you need to have that discussion. But I would just underline that the monarchy provides, with the Constitution, a degree of long-term stability that is actually quite hard to come by any other way.
And when we think about this duty, this role that the king has taken on, what kind of king do you think he'll be?
Well, you know what you're getting, because he's been practicing for a bit. And I don't think he'll change. You know, he is committed to his own level of service. That will remain true.
You have the elite people. They're living well. They're making money. You think they're going to give that up for you. But yet you're voting for people who's aligning themselves with the rich and powerful to keep the status quo going. So at the end of the day, the UK needs to look in themselves, the little people. All right? Do you take your well-being as priority to live a comfortable life and do the right thing, or you just want to vote whenever there's racism thing they pop up? Because every time election, that's what I realize in the UK, they throw that nonsense. What is it? Immigrants is taking over. Racism is this. They're taking control of this. Meanwhile, who's in power? Who's in control? You guys need to stop and think. When they throw their BS, stop and think and realize, what do you have in front of you? Is black people running your country? Not really. All right. So you have Sunak here as the prime minister right now. The reason that I believe they let him be the prime minister right now, okay, to take the blame of everything what the others already done to the country. All right. So that's that. Let's leave that alone. Next tweet.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.